Now we'll practice Ardha Prasarita Padottanasana with a twist in the variation. So have your blocks ready on the highest height. Stand in Tadasana in mountain pose. Take your hands to your hips. Lift the spine from bottom to top and step your feet wide with the heels wider than toes. Internally rotate the thighs, ground the inner feet, pull the thigh bones back, shoulders back, and then stretch the arms out. Lift the side ribs and reach the right arm to the right and the left arm to the left. And then hands back to hips, and then crease and fold at the hips, bending the knees so that you can lift the buttocks, lift the backs of the legs, and lift the buttocks up. Bring your hands onto the blocks, and then lift the left hand up towards the ceiling so that you come into a twist. Keep the knees bent, the buttocks lifted, the front of the spine long. Have a back bend feeling in the upper back. And turn the belly and the rib cage. Lift the left arm and left shoulder up. And then exhale and come down. Rest your left hand on the block and lift your right arm up to come into a twist on the other side. Groins reaching back, buttocks lifting, front of the spine lengthening. Stretch the right arm up, stretch the right shoulder up, and turn the belly, turn the rib cage. And then exhale and come down. And then hands to hips and stretch your chest forward and come on up. And now come onto your belly for some cobra undulations. So make your way onto your belly and lengthen your right and left legs back one at a time so that you become very long on the floor here. And then have your hands alongside your rib cage, flat on the sticky mat, and lift the shoulders and outer arms up towards the ceiling. Let the elbows pull back and a little wide. Anchor your tailbone down, spread the toes open, internally rotating in the thighs. And think of the rib cage pulling forwards and up, and start to lift the collarbones and lift the chin. Breathing here in the cobra. And then exhale and lower yourself down and let your head release down. And now inhale, roll yourself up into a higher cobra and let your head come up last. And then exhale, roll your spine back down, letting your head come down last. Inhale, using the arms, rolling your spine up, anchoring the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the chin as you finish the inhalation, and then exhale as you undulate back down at the end of the exhale, chin to chest. And continue this way, creating length in your body as you undulate. Shoulders back, elbows pull back. And now we'll practice a higher cobra. So walk your hands forward a little bit on your sticky mat. Anchor your tail and start to lift the front ribs up, pulling the rib cage forwards as you lift the front of the spine up towards the ceiling. Let your shoulders go back, press into your spread out hands, come up a little higher and lift your chin, and then exhale and come all the way down. Now lay down on your belly for Shalabhasana, and one at a time reach your legs back so that you set yourself up very long on the floor. Take your hands by your hips, forehead down, and then start to lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Lift your legs, lift the wrists, reach your chest forward, reach your legs back, and pull the arms back as you stretch your spine forwards. Anchor your tailbone down, lift the inner thighs, stretch the knees, open the toes, and lift those outer arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release down, resting your head to one side. And then turn your head and rest the other cheek down on the ground. Release and relax the buttocks. Now we'll practice Supta Padangusthasana. So lay down on your back and have a strap nearby, and release the flesh of the buttocks away from the lower back. Thighs are parallel, inner thighs and groins are relaxed, pelvis is heavy and relaxed, and stretch your arms overhead along the floor to lengthen the trunk, lengthen through the waist, the armpits, the abdomen. Lengthen the front of your spine and stretch and extend your elbows. Open the hands and the feet. And then take your strap and place the strap over the right heel. And then start to stretch the left leg along the floor. Internally rotate the left thigh. Lengthen the spine headwards. Let the abdomen be relaxed and long, elbows wide, shoulder blades sliding down the back. Kick your right heel up to open up the back of the right leg. Internally rotate at the very top of the left thigh and pull the right outer hip away from the right waist. So you can keep your right knee bent a little bit, that's fine. Just kick your right heel up so that you're feeling an elongation of the back of the right leg. Imagine the back of the right knee spreading and opening and lengthening. Breathe into the sensations here. Here you can imprint a long spine and an open chest even while you're stretching your hamstrings. And then bend your right knee, bend your left knee, both feet flat, stretch your arms overhead, neutralize and lengthen the trunk, relaxed in the pelvis area. And then lasso the strap over your left heel and kick your left heel up towards the ceiling. Pull your left outer hip away from the left waist. And internally rotate the right thigh as you start to stretch your right leg long. Ground the right thigh bone down. Be long in both sides of your belly. Elbows wide, shoulders moving down towards the sticky mat. Kick the left heel up to spread open the back of the left knee. So the knee can stay bent, but energetically lengthen the left leg. Rolling the right thigh in, pulling the left outer hip away from the left waist, organizing the tissue and the bones and the muscles here as you stretch, creating order and length. And then bend both knees, feet flat, reach your arms up overhead, parallel legs, relaxed in the groins. Now we'll practice a supported fish with a bolster underneath the rib cage and have a strap nearby for your hands. So lay back so the bolster supports you underneath your thoracic spine. Release the flesh of the buttocks away from the lower back, away from the back ribs. Knees bent and feet flat to support you, and then grab your strap and reach your arms up and overhead, hands holding the strap at shoulder distance apart. Enjoy this nice extension of the spine as you lengthen through the front of the spine and lengthen the abdomen, and then extend your legs. Stretch the legs and stretch the arms. Allow yourself to be supported by the bolster here. Become internally absorbed here. As you relax and release and gently guide yourself to lengthen a little more. Smooth and steady inhalation and a steady exhalation. And then bend your knees one at a time, place your feet flat, and roll to your side. Pass through your side to come out of the pose, coming on up to sit. Now we'll practice a version of Supta Baddha Konasana. So open up your blanket and have it laying across your feet as you see here with your bolster behind you. And then pull the flesh of the buttocks away from your lower back as you elongate your back ribs out onto the bolster. Before you lay all the way down, bunch up the sides of the blanket so that the blanket becomes supportive underneath your shins and thighs. And then continue to lay all the way back out onto the bolster and bring your arms up overhead, grabbing opposite elbows, and then rest your upper arms and elbows down onto the bolster overhead. Breathe deeply here as you enjoy the length in the trunk. Elongate those elbows right out of the armpits, right out of the waist. Let the pelvis and the buttocks and the groins relax here. Breathing deeply here. And then switch the cross of the arms. See if you can breathe with your whole body. Relaxing in the center of the brain. Smooth inhalations, smooth exhalations. And then open your arms out to a cactus position. Breathing here. And you can do an alternate arm position if a different position would feel better for you right now. Stay present here as you breathe, observing each moment, observing the subtle changes, observing your breath.